approach the subject of moments in your life. Not scenes, not events, but individual moments. It was almost to the minute, 24 hours ago, to steal a line from Andy, that I cast aside a bow line off of a 55-foot sailboat 5 miles off the island of Tortola. And yesterday spent the entire day working my way back to Kansas City. But that moment of taking off the bow line, which I hadn't thought about until Andy mentioned it, was a definitive moment in my life. So I'd like to hear some moments in your life. Hank, tell me the proudest moment of your life, or a proud moment in your life.
Well, there is a moment that I think about that I have very fond memories about, and it was the first weekend of college, and was playing basketball, had a scholarship to go to Cal State University, Sacramento, had big dreams about the next 4 years, and that first weekend I met a young lady who ultimately would become my wife. We're going to celebrate our 17-year anniversary here in a couple of weeks. And when I met her, I didn't fall immediately in love with her, but I was definitely very much attracted to her. I thought she was the most beautiful woman that I'd ever met, and she had an incredible smile. And we met that day, even before school had started, the weekend before school had started. And it took her probably about a year and a half to realize my potential. But I was very persistent, and she eventually took a liking to me, and we dated throughout most of college and got married. Shortly after I graduated, we have 2 wonderful boys, 10 and almost 7, and that's a moment that I look back on very fondly.
Ken Jansen, most embarrassing moment, or an embarrassing moment?
An embarrassing moment. I have several in my life, sadly. Probably the most embarrassing moment that that is most entertaining. When I was 18 and I was attending Michigan State, and sadly discovering that I was never going to be a physics teacher because I suck at math at a high level, I had my college roommate drive me to Detroit to go join the Army. And during the Army, I aced the ASVAB, got 100%. Only guy in the state for a year to do that. So that was very interesting. I went through the physical. There were a bunch of big guys complaining about that test, but yet they were pushing the stack of weights up there. And I said, how much do I have to do? Well, you have to do 70. Okay, put 70 on there. So I do that. So if you've never been through an Army recruiting station, you're basically in your underwear for 48 hours, walking around with 4,000 other guys doing that. Well, I can't show you exactly, but I have a gap in my toe, which is about this big between my big toe and my little toe. So part of the evaluation in the physical is you're in a room with 10, 12 guys, and you walk in, and I don't know if I can do this properly. So imagine there's 12 guys lined up, and the doctor comes in, and he says, everybody says, drop your shorts. Okay, drop your shorts. Bend over and spread your cheeks. So I'm doing this. And the doctor comes up behind me and says, boy, what is the matter with your toe, boy? Did you lose a toe, boy? I just happen to have a big space, and That was thankfully a very funny story at the time. Now, at the time, it was not exactly what I expected my life to be like. I did not not. By the way, get on the bus. Along with a whole other speech someday, but I did not join the Army, but that was a pretty embarrassing.
Tom Zucal, how about a moment that you wish you could do again?
Moment I wish I could do again. Have to pick one. Kind of a long story, but when my wife and I decided we were going to get married, it was not a traditional way, because we didn't want a traditional way. But it was a moment that was very special for us, and still is today, almost 22 years later. But the moment was to go to the Justice of the Peace to get married. And the thought was that you would stand in front of the justice, who would have a black robe on, and, you know, it would be in a nice setting. But when we walked into the office of the Justice of the Peace, she was just finishing her lunch. So she had on her desk, you know, a tray from the cafeteria downstairs with the leftovers of, you know, and I thought, walking in and thinking, okay, this doesn't seem real professional. Is this really a judge? But she put on her black robe and she did the ceremony. So I guess if I had to do it all over again, I wish she would have been a little bit more professional and not had all the junk on her desk. But, you know, it's still legal. We still have the paper, and that's good.
Thank you all three, and I hope we all enjoy the moment.
Thank you, sir.